How might a woman feel when the man's mission pushes her aside? David Data gave the example of a man going to war, a greater mission, but how might that work when we aren't in war? Well, and this is a bit of semantics, but I'll say that the man isn't pushing the woman aside. He has a different mindset around his goal right now. He has a different priority in this moment. And what I would say is, do he and his woman speak about this? Have they talked about values and prioritization and family and what is the goal of their relationship since they first got together, since they were first married or committed to one another? Have they been talking about his mission, his values, her mission and values, and what they want to do in that third entity? So Data also talks about level 1, 2, 3. Level 1 is I do for myself. Level 2 is we just try to get along. And the trying to get along and compromise and is when a lot of nice guy contracts come out, because you're trying to just give instead of, how do we make this work in a let's say fair way? That's level 2. And level 3 is, what are we doing to grow the third entity, the relationship, our spiritual awakening, our spiritual enlightenment in the world? How are we growing ourselves as people and as a couple together, even if that growth as a couple isn't what one of us wants right now? So the woman doesn't want him to go to war. That's his mission in the world, his level 3 mission, his spiritual mission as well in the world. And have they been talking about that in relationships since they committed to one another? That would be my question. So for us as men, that if we all of a sudden shift our values, and if I do push her aside or she feels like I'm brushing her aside, I don't think that's going to go very well. So Cynthia, if a man is recommitting to his career, let's say, or as Alison Armstrong would say, he's in his princely phase when he's growing his kingdom, he's growing his career, right? How can he, if he wants to re-energize himself in that way, or there's more children in the house and she's feeling pushed aside, how can he talk with her about that level 3 vision of them together and about her bottom drawer desires and how what he's going to do, what his goals are, help her achieve those bottom drawer desires? How can he start opening that conversation with her?
I actually had this conversation with a gentleman yesterday. Just letting her know your vision for the relationship, letting her know how your current purpose, your current mission is moving toward that vision, and that she is an important part of that journey with you. If that's appropriate, you want that, she wants that, and that even time spent away, it's okay to be like, hey, I'm in the relationship space, it's hard to take the time away, but I'm doing this because of this end result, this mission, this passion I have, the way it lights me up, and I love bringing that into the space between us. To me, when a man talks that way, it is framing and leadership and intensity, and this week was about red pill, and maybe the alpha energy. That to me feels like alpha energy. It's like strong boundary, forward momentum, and yeah, guess what? You are the lucky chickie who gets to be along on the ride with that. So
yeah, well, I'll add what you said earlier too, that we need to be a broken record about that, a positive broken record about that, and not be blown off of our horse, not be blown to the ground if she's upset, if she's in an emotional storm. We don't want to be blown over. We don't want to change our mind because she's upset. Okay, you can certainly take her influence. We're talking about changing your mind on your chief mission and values in life. Okay, her opinions shouldn't change your chief values and mission in life. You'll take her perspective and you'll consider those moving forward in the next chapter together. But if she's upset right now, the man isn't going to stay home from war. And in his example from the book, if that soldier did stay home because his woman was upset, she would lose respect for him because he no longer is on his mission, and he can be blown off of his mission and values just by her upset in that moment. And she won't feel safe or comforted by that. She won't feel magic in his world. She won't feel that he's going toward his adventure in his battle, and he's staying home to appease her. So how does that feel if he's, oh, never mind, I won't do that though. Because you're upset, I'll stay home and we'll stay together. What's underneath that for a woman?
Well, it made my stomach kind of like curl back in on itself when you just said that. It felt if he is going to be kind of wishy-washy, it wasn't like there. I felt like I needed to pull back and create my own structure and container because I couldn't trust what he was doing.
That's great feedback. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing having Cynthia on so she can give us those gut level those gut level responses from a woman. I appreciate that.